Hi, I'm Kat, and today's video is going to be a book recommendations type of video. I wanted to do this because the sun is starting to shine, summer's coming, and I find that I always want some lighthearted reads during this time of year. It's not all I read, but it puts me in good spirits. So for today's video, I'm going to do all recommendations of books that either made me smile and put me in a happy mood, or actually got me to laugh. And when I say laugh, it's laugh out loud type of funny. Not just like reading, funny. No. You put the book down, you reread the passage, it was hilarious. So these are my recommendations and I hope you enjoy it. So let's start with some classics. And I don't mean actual olden days classics, but I mean booktube classics. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I think the news just came out yesterday or 2 days ago from when I'm filming this that Rick Riordan was able to make a deal with Disney and they are adapting the Percy Jackson series, which I'm so excited. Oh my god, yes. I cannot wait, and they are doing it properly this time with young people, and we are going to see them through all the books with their proper age. I am so hyped for this, and with that in mind, this recommendation. Just a quick synopsis. This story is about our main character, Percy Jackson, who is a demigod. But he doesn't know that at the beginning. He lives with his mother and he's always in some type of trouble. But from the beginning you understand that he doesn't seek trouble. Trouble just has a way of finding him. And what you figure out, and what he figures out, is that he's actually the son of a god. His father is a Greek god. And so in this book, it's the journey of him figuring who his father is and going on a quest, on a mission, because that's what heroes do. And being a demigod, that's kind of his path. This series is hilarious. From the chapter titles to the way it is written, like, it's so humorous and it's not forced in any way, which is the best, because sometimes you can tell that an author is trying to be funny and it kind of takes you out of the story. But Rick Riordan is a master in his craft. He has such a good voice for this story and for Percy. This is my first recommendation for you to have a laugh, and because it is so quick and easy to read, you will also fly through this. So it is an afternoon well spent. Then, sticking with classics, but this one much older, is Bridget Jones's Diary. Now, I have to say right off the bat that this is a very old book and you can tell that it is old. There are some things that happen here that obviously are not, this was written when I was born, 1996. So it has a few years on it, especially in terms of book longevity, it has a few years on it. And you can tell. We have so many feminist stories coming out nowadays with kind of the same premise as Bridget Jones. The stories are different because the values of nowadays are different. Bear that in mind because it has its problems, obviously. But that being said, it is still hilarious. I think most people would have had some type of contact at least with the movies, and the movies are great. I love those. They are hilarious. So if you like this type of story or you've been intrigued about picking up this book, this is my recommendation. Give it a try because it is different from the movies, not by much, but it is different and I enjoyed it. It was fun. Now, more modern, I have to say Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. Oh, please, please, please pick this up. This book is everything to me. I love these characters so much, like Nick and Charlie. They're everything to me. Oh, goodness. If you don't know, Heartstopper is a graphic novel. So it's pictures. And it's so beautiful. The style of illustration is perfect for this story. And this story is about two boys falling in love. You have Charlie here and you have Nick. And it's so wholesome. Oh my god, the whole way through I was smiling. I was reading this book and smiling like a fool. It's never afraid of having hard conversations, but the heart of it is so light, and there's so much love in this story. The way the author has managed to tell it and the way these characters are, it's perfect. On top of that, this is volume 1, and right now there are 3 volumes out, so if you love this, you'll have more. Oh my god, pick this up, please. And now, going to another classic, Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. Now this is what I call another booktube classic. So if you don't know, Lola is our main character, and she is a girl who loves costumes. Like, she doesn't wear normal outfits. She will wear wigs every day, and she will always find a way to kind of disguise herself, and she dresses up every day. It's part of her personality. So the thing that happens in this book is that someone moves next door. But it's not someone new, it's someone from Lola's past. They were friends when they were children, and then something happened, and Lola, let's say she holds some grudges. It is a second chance romance, and once again, it's so wholesome, and it has a lot of heart. I really enjoyed this. I loved the writing style because you fly through it. I really love Lola's journey. Once again, I smiled a lot and I laughed sometimes. Then we have a very different sort of book, which is Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls. This is a collection of short stories about different women in history who did something amazing. I know this book is targeted towards youngins, especially because of the title, like Goodnight Stories. So this would be perfect for children, not just girls, but children. I loved this book so much, so I just have to correct that and tell you that it is good for all ages. The way the stories are told is beautiful, but then you have this amazing illustrations, and each person is illustrated by a different person as well. So you have this variety of styles, and it's beautiful. And the way the stories are told, I'm not gonna lie, I know this is a book recommendations to make you smile, but I teared up at a couple of these. Every page you read is knowledge that you get if you didn't already, and it just makes you smile. When I finished this book, I had my heart so full and warm. One I did laugh at a lot was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. Now, as you can see, this is the movie cover, and I got into this story because of the movie coming out on Netflix. I saw everybody getting really excited because of the movie, and then I saw this edition at my local bookstore, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a chance. Best decision ever. I love this story so much. Laura Jean is such... she is the embodiment of a cupcake. She's so sweet. To All the Boys I've Loved Before is the story of Laura Jean, our main character, and she has this thing where she has crushes on boys, and whenever the crush is too much for her to handle, she writes them a love letter. But she doesn't send it, she just keeps it to herself, and after she's done that, she feels like she can move on. What happens is that one day, she finds that her letters are missing, and somebody sent them out. Oh my god. This story is one of those that, like, I was smiling the whole way through. It's also a great summer read. It's about family. It's about first love. Read it. Now I have a short story collection because some of them are novels, some of them are quick novels to read, but not everybody wants to pick up a novel. So we have Meetcute, which is a short story collection by a ton of authors. Like, if you want to pause and read it, I have to be honest, the first thing that grabbed my attention was the cover, because yes, I'm like that, obviously, as with every short story collection. Didn't love everything, but these ones were really, really special to me. The Way We Love Here by Danielle Clayton, this is like a 20-page short story. It made me cry. Like, what? Once again, I know this is a book recommendation, but it was a good cry. It was not like, oh my god, rip out my heart cry. It was like, oh my god, this is so good type of cry, you know? So, different. This book focuses on stories about the meet-cute. And if you don't know this expression, it's basically when the romantic pair meets for the first time. It's a great way for you to get to know some author's writing style, and if you enjoy that, you can maybe check them out, check out their novels. As you can probably gather from the cover, it is very inclusive, which is also important, necessary, and just normal life. So take that into consideration because it is great in every aspect. So before we get to the final recommendation, like physical recommendation, I just wanted to pop 2 ebooks that I read which were wonderful, and because I don't have them physically, I'll just put them up here. So the first one is The Unhiding Mooners by Christina Lauren, which is the perfect summer read. This book is set in Hawaii, most of it, so it'll transport you to that paradise setting, will be perfect. Even if you are at home, just crack open a window. It'll be just like Hawaii. Except not, but it will. It's the best we got right now. This story is about Olive, who has a twin sister who is getting married. And Olive's twin sister is really, really lucky. So she's basically won her wedding in prizes. Like, she does contests and she wins them. And that's what happened with her honeymoon. So the honeymoon is all paid for, but is non-refundable. The bad thing is that at the wedding, everybody gets food poisoning. The bride, the groom, everybody. So it comes down to Olive and to Ethan, who is the groom's best man, because they didn't eat the buffet, so they don't have food poisoning. And because the honeymoon is non-refundable, they go on the trip. The thing is that they hate each other. So it's one of those romance novels of enemies to friends to lovers, and it's great. I cannot recommend this enough because I was flying through this first off, and then I was laughing so hard. And the second recommendation that I don't have here with me is Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. I know this is very 2000 of me. This is very vampire of me, but we know that the 2000s are back. We have new Hunger Games, we will have new Percy Jackson, we will have new Twilight, so vampires are back and I am here for it because I've always loved it. So I do have to recommend Vampire Academy. This series as a whole, like the whole series, is perfect. If you haven't read this, go ahead. It stands the test of time. The characters are hilarious. The story is so compelling. You don't want to put the book down, and it's a grand old time. This is one of those books which made me laugh out loud, like stop reading, laugh, reread, laugh. Wonderful. Now, the last recommendation I have, I didn't save the best for last, but I kind of did. These books are so pretty. The first one, The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. is one of those books that a lot of people have been talking about because it is so goddamn beautiful. It's perfect. And this looks like a children's book because of its size, because, well, of everything, the way that it's designed, but it is more like a graphic novel. But that being said, it's one of those stories that is good for all ages. It's so beautiful and the message is so wholesome. Do yourself a favor and pick this up. And while you're at it, this is the first book. Go ahead and pick up the second because the Tea Dragon Festival is also wonderful. So yeah, as you can see, I mean, just talking about these books has made me so much happier, even though I was already in a good mood. So if you need some recommendations, take these. I love them all. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my recommendations. Please tell me down below in the comments some recommendations that you may have for me of books that made you smile, books that made you laugh, because I'm always looking for those. I tend to read a lot of fantasy, but fantasy tends to break my heart, so I usually need a buffer to mend it. And that's when I turn to these. So if you have some recommendations of those books, please tell me down below in the comments. I would love to know. And that's it for today. I'll see you next time. Bye.